You say your life has been in turmoil since the moment you learned you were pregnant with twins. You are convinced your husband fathered your 8-month-old son, Richard, but you also believe your boyfriend, Mr. Stacy, fathered your son's twin sister, Raylan. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramey, you state there is no way you fathered either one of your wife's twins and intend to prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stacy, you believe you fathered both twins.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
How did we get into this confusion with conception?
December 15th, John, Keisha, Scotty, and I was at the house, and Scotty and John were working on the bathroom to get it fixed up.
So your boyfriend and your husband were working on the bathroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And after they had gotten the floor put down, Scotty went into our room, was playing his games in our room. Keisha was in the living room, watched TV, I guess. And John said, come look at the bathroom. He said, we got to talk about the kids, close the door. And then one thing led to another, and we had sex.
Do you remember that day, Mr. Ramey?
I remember the day, Your Honor. I don't really remember it exactly as she told this story, but me and Samantha were married.
But do you remember having sex with your
Yes.
wife in the bathroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
With her boyfriend in the bedroom playing video games?
I don't know what he was doing, Your Honor. I just know that what her and I were doing.
So, Miss Gelnster, how did Mr. Stacy, your boyfriend, find out that you had sex with your husband?
I guess he had to use the bathroom or whatever, because he went up to the bathroom and he had heard me and John together, and he said, I can't do this, and he walked out. And when he walked out, we got finished. He left with Keisha.
So wait a minute, you got finished, you finished the act?
Yes, Your Honor. I was addicted to
Mr.
John.
Stacy, so you knock on the door, you there laying floor, and Mr. Ramey laying something else. So you knock on the door, what happens? Tell me what you remember.
I knocked on the door, I heard them, I said I was done, and I walked out. Started walking down the road.
Did you know they were having sex? What did you hear?
You could hear them.
So you knew immediately?
Yes.
And you just said, I'm done, and you left?
Yes.
And then, Miss Gelnster, when do you reconnect with Mr. Stacy?
After John and Keisha had left the house that night, went and picked him up from walking up the road and brought him back to the house and told him I was sorry and asked him to stay.
And then how soon after that do you start having sex with Mr. Stacy again?
It was that night.
Oh, right after you have sex with your husband, you have sex with your boyfriend?
Not right after. I mean, it was that evening that it happened.
So how did you get a conception date from the doctor?
It was September 17th was the final due date.
And from that, you calculated, or they calculated, a window of conception?
Yes, and when they gave me the due date, they also gave me a paper stating that baby A, which was Richard, was 5 weeks and 2 days, and Raylan was 5 weeks and 4 days.
Ah, and that was how many weeks, days after you had slept with both of them?
I was 5.5 weeks pregnant.
And so the timeline pointed directly back to both men because you've been honest, you were intimate with both men on the same day.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
In the same 24-hour period.
Yes, Your Honor.
So who was with you when you gave birth?
Scotty was there.
And you're there when the babies are born?
Yes.
Do you sign the birth certificate?
No.
Nobody's on the birth certificate.
Well, you couldn't because she's legally married to Mr. Ramey.
Correct.
Correct.
All right. So
I'm sorry that I put you guys through this. I really am.
Miss Atkins, you are Mr. Ramey's current girlfriend.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe your boyfriend is the father of one or both of these twins?
No, 100% no, I do not believe that these kids are his. And
You weren't in there when that happened, Keisha. I mean, how are you gonna say no, it's not?
because they do
At
not
first he
resemble
told you it was
Sammy.
because
They
the-
do not resemble my John at all. Neither one of them do.
He does resemble John because he looks just like John.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. You have your opinion, I have mine.
Exactly.
Miss Atkins, do you believe Mr. Stacy is the father of one or both of the twins?
No, I do not.
Oh,
Really?
Yes, really.
so you're saying you don't believe either man's the father?
No.
Well, I declare, as my grandmother would say. In the case of Gelnster versus Ramey, when it comes to 8-month-old Raylan Ramey, it has been determined by this court the biological father is Mr. Stacy. The next result is for Richard. And in this case, Ms. Gelnster, you believe Mr. Ramey, your husband, is Richard's biological father. These are the results. In the case of Gelnster versus Ramey, when it comes to 8-month-old Richard Ramey, it has been determined by this court the biological father is Mr. Stacy.
Now tell me I was sleeping with somebody else.
Mr. Morris, you're here because you say certain facts have come to light that make you believe that you fathered one of Miss Thorpe's twins and not the other. You claim a botched home DNA test separated you from your daughter, London, and you intend to rectify that issue today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Thorpe, you say Mr. Morris's claim is ridiculous and that he very clearly fathered both of your twins, Paris and London. And you say Mr. Morris's efforts to go behind your back blew up in his face, and you intend to clean up his mess today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Morris, what do you mean you're the father of one twin and not the other? Explain.
Exactly how it sounds. Originally, I was believed that both of them was mine. Over time, certain circumstances made me feel like neither were mine. And then after that, different things happened that made me believe just London was.
We've examined this issue completely in this courtroom, and we do know it's possible for a man to be the father of one of two fraternal twins. So we do understand that. And that's basically what you're claiming today.
Yes, ma'am.
Twins with two different fathers. Now that would be shocking. Please take me back now to your relationship, Miss Thorpe. You're saying that you know he is the father
Yes, Your Honor.
of both twins.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
I was seeing another guy at the time that me and Antoine was talking, but the time matched up to Antoine being the father of both of my kids. Before anything, we were friends, so I don't even understand why he's even putting me through this. I told Antoine that I wanted to be in a relationship with him, and he turned me down because he was still in love with the mother of his other child. So, so when that time happened, I got upset and I started messing with another guy.
So, Mr. Morris, when do you get doubtful?
Honestly, just one day I was in a local drugstore and out of the blue, I know it sounds crazy, but this DNA test was just sticking out. And like everything else was just like black. I'm like, a test? So I bought it, just like that. I didn't doubt him, not one bit, but I went back to the house without Imani's knowledge, and inside the test, it was a thing where you get 3 samples, one for the father, one for the child, and one for the child's mother. But of course, she didn't know, so I swabbed myself, pairs, and then I use the one for the mother on the other child.
Your Honor, he told me he don't even know which child he swabbed.
No, I don't know which child ended up being tested because they only tested one. I called the DNA place after and I kind of explained the situation. And she said if I got a results back at all, then they collected 2 separate DNAs from what I sent in. She said if it was completed wrong or didn't have enough or whatever, then it would have came back NA.
Okay, inconclusive.
Yes, ma'am. Like I said, just
All right, so you send the results in, and of course, how do they come back?
0% probability.
But you do understand that you didn't even use the swabs right.
I would just hope, I don't know. Like I said, so.
No, you don't.
I don't, I didn't.
No, I mean, the truth is you don't. You was making something up.
But everything was just confusing. So.
It was.
And I was lost.
In the case of Morris versus Thorpe, when it comes to 4-year-old Paris Morris, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Morris, you are not the father. Well, you were correct there. You are not Paris's biological father. Ms. Thorpe, you don't look surprised. The next result is for London. In the case of Morris versus Thorpe, when it comes to 4-year-old London Morris, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Morris, you are not the father. Ms. Thorpe, somewhere inside of you, you knew this was a very real possibility. I can see your reaction. Who is their father?
The other guy I was talking to. When I told him I was pregnant, he stopped talking to me.
So this makes sense. So you went with the guy with the best reaction, you went with the guy that was building nurseries, you went with the guy that was going to doctor's appointments, and you went with the guy that was gonna support you through this. These twins, they need you to step in and make that call again. They deserve to know who their father is definitively. Ms. Wolf, you say that your month-long relationship with Mr. Shelton left you with beautiful twins who he is now denying for dubious reasons. You intend to prove Mr. Shelton fathered both boys, Luke and Levi. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Shelton, you say Ms. Wolf is a promiscuous party animal who has absolutely no idea who fathered her twins. You believe you are just one of several men who were involved with Ms. Wolf, and you claim there is no way you fathered her children. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Wolf, what do you mean he's denying your children for dubious reasons?
He is the father. They look just like him. His friends told me that they looked like him. The conception date was matched up to when we were together during our relationship. I was with 2 other people afterwards, but both of them have been they're out of the picture. So he is the father. Look at them, look at him.
And so, Mr. Shelton, you disagree?
Yes, Your Honor. Whenever I was with her, she was very promiscuous. She was always disappearing. She was very untrustworthy. I didn't know what was going on half the time. We were together for a month and messed around a lot, and she just was never there really. And then she just disappeared one day.
So earlier in the testimony, you said there were 2 other men you were sleeping with.
That's correct. One
So why have you excluded them?
was a black guy, so they're obviously not black. And the other one I used protection with, and I don't believe there was a way that I could get pregnant with him.
Well, black people come in all colors, all sizes.
But not blonde hair, blue eyes.
Oh no, black people have blonde hair and blue eyes. That's why I turned around and looked and said, well, let's really see. Because there are plenty of black people that have blonde hair and blue eyes. All right, So, Mr. Shelton, how did you find out about the pregnancy?
I just got a message from her one day on Facebook. Being the kind-hearted guy I was, I just said, okay, we can hang out. I can see you. She was wondering how I was doing. She came over to the house. The kids were, or she was pregnant at this time. Pretty sure it was like 9 months, Your Honor. Or she was about to pop, pretty much.
I feel like my kids were already born before he met them or knew about the pregnancy, because I was waiting till they were born to see what they would look like, because I was unsure and I was nervous.
And so you feel like he never even mentioned them, you never even got in contact with him until after the children were born?
That's correct.
And so take me to the birth. What happened when Luke and Levi were born? Obviously, Mr. Shelton wasn't there.
No, he was not.
Who was?
Ralph was there with me, but he's my current boyfriend.
And Ralph
he
is
didn't
Mr.
know,
Duquois.
of course, he couldn't be there, yes.
So Mr. Duquois participated in the baby's birth?
Yes, he did.
Please state your name for the record, sir.
My name is Ralph Duquois.
Mr. Duquois, thank you for joining us today. We are listening to testimony relating to Luke and Levi's paternity. We'd like to know what your relationship is to Ms. Wolf.
I've known her since 2008, on and off, and we were together at the time of conception, having unprotected sex.
So, what did Ms. Wolf tell you about the paternity of these two children? Did she say you're the father?
That I could be possibly the father of one of the
She
children.
told you that?
Yes.
She just testified?
Especially.
I'm joking with you.
What?
It's not, I never told him he was a biological father, ever. It's been a joking around. He's been there since they were born, so he is their dad.
She was partying, and she was not clear of the time and dates of when that happened.
No.
So, Ms. Wolf has said you've been taking care of the twins like they're your own. They're 22 months old. You've been pretty much their father figure and the person they have come to rely on to be a father in their lives.
They need somebody. Those little creatures that, they need parents, I was born in a family with parents and a mother and father, and they need that.
So what kind of relationship have you developed, Mr. Shelton, with the twins? Can you tell the court?
I've only met the twins one time, Your Honor. I haven't had a chance to be in their life at all. I've been wondering about them. It keeps me up at night.
That's why we're here. I would love for him to be a part of their life. I hadn't reached out to him at all. I was trying to file for child support against him, but I would love for him to be there.
Your Honor, last time that I talked to her, she was supposed to bring the kids over and we were supposed to hang out, but instead I gave her my address, and then 2 days later I got child support papers in the mail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you gave her the address for visitation and then you got served?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, if I'm the dad, I'd like to know.
In the case of Wolf versus Shelton, when it comes to 22-month-old Luke Wolf, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Duquois, you are not the father. Mr. Shelton, you are not the father. Neither Mr. Shelton or Mr. Duquois are the father of either twin. Ms. Wolf, do you know who is? This is so unfortunate for the children.
I mean, I don't know how to find them.
Do you know where the person is?
We were in Oklahoma.
How about the guy you say that you were with and you used the condom? Is that the person you're thinking about? All right. And the stakes are so high because the children need their father. They need to know. Mr. Shelton's been already...
Thank you for coming.
Well, you've gotten child support papers.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's important that you now move swiftly in your home court.
Yes, Your Honor.
But I'm just so sad for the children.
Me too.
Mr. Duquois, do you still plan to be in the children's life?
I do. I will be there no matter what. Even if I do have to help her find this person, whoever it is, or...
Good. Mr. Wiggins, You and your identical twin brother are here today for the results of paternity tests regarding 3-year-old Zaylin Davis.
Yes, ma'am.
You both claim you had sexual relations with the defendant, Cecily Williams, and say you believe one of you may have fathered her child.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Williams, you recall having sex with only one of the twins.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you claim you are confident he's your son's father, and you're asking him to step up when you prove it here today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Additionally, the court has ordered a full investigation, including a polygraph test to determine the extent of this alleged sexual relationship. Mr. Brian Wiggins.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to start with you. Do you believe the child is your son or your nephew?
I truly don't believe that he's my son, and I truly don't know if he's my nephew or not. So, you
Why?
know, let me explain to you. We live in Las Vegas, and during the week, the hotel rooms is very cheap. So, you know, I went ahead and booked a room, and I called my brother. I let him know. I'm like, yo, I got some girls coming through. I went and got him. We went and got the drink. We went and got some trees or whatever. We went back to the room.
I won't even ask. Keep going.
Our company, her and her friends came
Okay,
over.
finally. So she's one of the girls you having come over?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and?
And we all was basically hanging out, chilling inside the hotel room. We was drinking, we was smoking, and it got to a point where it kind of turned down. One of her friends left, one of our friends left, and at this point, I'm kind of on the couch. I'm faded, you know, been drinking all night, so I'm kind of slumped over, you know. I'm passing out at this point. I'm on the couch
Sounding like
passing
a
out.
recipe for a disaster. Or a paternity case.
Come the next morning, you know, we say our goodbyes or whatever, and me and my brother, we still got a little bit of time left on the room. So we hanging out. He tells me, he was like, yo, you know, I smashed Cecily last night. I'm like, what? You know, at first I didn't believe him really. You know, I thought he was kind of playing.
So hold on, because at the time, Ms. Williams was your friend.
Yes.
You all had a sexual
He's
relationship.
just mad because I smashed first, so he got
Your
a little
Honor,
jealous.
I object. I never had sex with him ever. Look at him. Why would I want to have sex with you?
I look like
you
him.
need to stop lying. You need to stop lying. He's a better looking twin.
This is your brother's girl. They had at least a sexual relationship coming into this day of partying.
Well, at this time, my brother, he actually had a girlfriend at the time.
Oh!
You know, and it's a code of honor we have.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
You know, so if it's...
Doesn't sound like anything is honorable about this party, but I'm listening. What is the code of honor?
Well, basically is what he's saying is, if that ain't your girlfriend, then it's open play. She's
Okay,
open.
I
She's
get
up
it.
for a
All
twin
right, so
bang.
I understand between the two of you, if it's not your girlfriend, then it's fair game. Either one of you can sleep with them or have sex or whatever you all want to
They
do.
get twin
Moving
bangs.
forward. So after this night, do you continue to have a relationship with Ms. Williams?
Well, after that night, when my brother told me, you know, what he did, I wasn't really mad at him. I just didn't really believe him. So
Oh,
when
you didn't?
It was actually two
Hold
occasions,
on.
Your Honor.
Why didn't you believe your brother when he told
Well,
you
because
he
my
had
brother
sex
has
with her?
you know, sometimes he stretches the truth a little bit. You know, I didn't really quite believe it all the way until I talked to her. When I asked her about it, you know, the reaction she gave me was like, no, what are you talking about? I wouldn't do anything like that. And you know,
That's a reaction
That's
when
a
somebody...
reaction. I never did anything.
well, it was the facial expression. I didn't really believe it.
How you
So
know
wait a
my
minute,
face?
Ms.
Your Honor, she
Williams,
woke up next
when,
to me.
hold on. Ms. Williams, when Brian confronted you, what did you say?
I said, what? What are you talking about? I would never do anything like that. Why would I have sex with your brother? And he was cussing me out. He called me so many sluts and whores.
So now
he wouldn't let
that
me talk.
night, he said that you all were, his word was faded.
Yes.
Do you remember whether you had sex with his brother?
No, I did not have sex with him.
Actually, Your Honor, I had sex with Cecily on 2 different occasions. At the hotel room that night, and I seen her a couple of weeks later at the smoke shop, and I took her down in the car again.
No one had sex with you,
So
Marcus.
when my brother initially told me that she was pregnant, that's when I light went off in my head. Like, wow, well, if she's saying you did that, then it's probably a possibility that I could be. But just knowing her track record and knowing her and how easy it was and things like that, I think she's just like flipping a coin and just picking anybody.
So do you all think that you're the only two possibilities, or could there be more?
See, that's my thing. Our relationship was, we never had any type of commitment. We had sex, we hung out, and that was it. You know, after I met him and we start talking more. She had a boyfriend at the time, and then when they broke up, me and her, we started talking more. And I asked her one day, I said, "Oh, let me see Zaylen's birth certificate." She was kind of hesitant to showing me. I have it right here, as a matter of fact. She was kind of hesitant to showing me. Because I'm looking at the birth certificate, I see where it says father, and it says Nicholas Davis.
When it comes to 3-year-old Zaylen Davis, as to whether one of the Wiggins twin brothers or another man is his biological father, it has been determined that one of the Wiggins twins is the father. Now, because identical twins share the exact same DNA, genetically, it is impossible to determine which twin is the biological father without further investigation. We had a member of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office and a licensed polygraph examiner do a full investigation, including a polygraph test. Based upon the genetic evidence, as well as the results of the polygraph test, this court has determined that Mr. Brian Wiggins is the biological father. Told you. Now you seem emotional, sir.
I have built, over the past year or two, I have built a relationship with him. I felt it couldn't go as close as me and my daughter the whole time because I just really didn't know. I just didn't know. And by you telling me that right now, it kind of brought a lot of love that was missing at first.
That's what this courtroom is about. Alleviating the doubt to elevate the love, right?
Yes.
I must say this. When you think of identical twins, the beauty of it and what people always admire is that they share everything. They dress alike sometimes, they look alike, they like to do the same things often. But there's something that twins should not share. And that would be sexual partners